Love is often misunderstood. Many people expect it to roar loudly with dramatic gestures, expensive gifts, or grand declarations in public. But the truth is, lasting love rarely lives in noise. It lives in the quiet, consistent choices someone makes every single day. The way a man treats you when no one is watching often reveals more than what he says when everyone is listening. When a man sees you as his true priority, you don't have to chase his attention or wonder where you stand. He shows you through the small, steady details, the kind of gestures that don't always get applause but leave you feeling deeply secure. These quiet actions might not be flashy enough for social media, but they speak volumes about his character and commitment. Think about it. Anyone can say, "I love you," but not everyone can show it in ways that actually matter. Words can be rehearsed, but consistency cannot be faked. The man who values you most doesn't need to put on a performance. His love shows up in the everyday rhythms of life, in the way he listens without interrupting, in the way he remembers details you thought he'd forget, in the way he makes time even when his world is busy. These subtle choices, repeated over time, create an unshakable foundation. This is what separates real love from temporary infatuation. Infatuation is about excitement in the beginning, the thrill of attraction, the butterflies, the intensity of new. But real love proves itself in the long run, through actions that provide stability, peace, and a sense of belonging. And often those actions are quiet. They don't draw attention to themselves. They simply happen, day after day, building trust like bricks stacked carefully into a strong home. Women often wonder, am I his priority, or am I just another option in his busy life? The answer doesn't come from his promises alone. It comes from watching how he treats you when life is stressful, when distractions compete for his time, or when challenges appear. Does he stand by you or disappear? Does he choose you or make excuses? His quiet actions will always tell you the truth. That's why this guide focuses on the 12 quiet ways he reminds you you're his true priority. Each of these signs may seem small on the surface, but together they form a love language stronger than words. If you see these behaviors in your relationship, you can be confident that you are not just another part of his life. You are at the very center of it. Because in the end, love doesn't always shout. Sometimes the loudest proof of devotion is found in silence, patience, and thoughtful choices. And when a man loves you deeply, his quiet ways will leave no doubt that you are his forever choice. He listens, without interrupting. When a man truly values you and sees you as his priority, one of the quietest yet most powerful ways he proves it is through the way he listens. In a world where everyone seems eager to talk, interrupt, or shift the conversation toward themselves, his silence becomes a gift. He doesn't just stay quiet. He leans in, focusing on your words, your tone, and even the pauses between your sentences. His eyes soften, his body language relaxes, and you can feel that he is not just hearing, but absorbing you. He doesn't rush you, doesn't finish your sentences, and doesn't dismiss your feelings with quick advice. Instead, he allows you the space to express yourself fully. This patience shows that your thoughts and emotions matter to him more than his own urge to reply. Even when he disagrees, he waits until you're done, showing that your perspective deserves respect. Listening without interrupting also reflects trust. He trusts that what you're saying has value, and he wants to understand before reacting. This quiet behavior says more than flowers, gifts, or grand declarations ever could. It tells you, your voice is safe with me. The beauty of this act is that it happens in the smallest moments, during a late-night talk, while you vent about a stressful day, or even in casual conversations. These are the moments that build emotional safety. They remind you that you're not competing for his attention. You already have it. When a man listens without interrupting, he's not just practicing good manners. He's showing that you are his true priority. Because giving someone your full attention, in a world full of distractions, is one of the rarest and quietest forms of love. He makes time, even on busy days, when life feels overwhelming, calendars are packed, and deadlines pile high. It's easy to say, "I don't have time." But when you are truly his priority, he never hides behind that excuse. Instead, he creates time, not because he has nothing else to do, but because being with you matters more than anything on his schedule. He might have long work hours, family obligations, or personal goals pulling at him, but somehow, he always finds little windows to remind you that you come first. Maybe it's a 5-minute call between meetings, a quick text at lunch just to ask how your day is going, or stopping by unexpectedly with your favorite snack after work. These gestures may seem small, but they hold enormous weight. They show that even on the busiest days, he carves out moments for you because your presence gives him energy, not exhaustion. Making time doesn't mean he cancels every plan or ignores his responsibilities. Instead, it means he balances them while ensuring you never feel secondary. He rearranges when he can, sacrifices where it matters, and chooses you in the spaces where others might choose rest or convenience. This quiet effort speaks volumes. It says, "You are worth more than my excuses." Even when he's tired, he listens to you. Even when his to-do list is long, he makes sure you feel seen. And even when he can't be physically present, he finds ways to bridge the distance through a message, a note, or a call that whispers, "I'm here." Love isn't measured by the number of free hours someone has. It's revealed by what they do with the little time they can control. And when he chooses to spend that precious time with you, despite the demands of his busy life, you never doubt your place in his heart. He remembers the small details love often hides in the smallest corners of our lives. And when a man makes you his true priority, you'll notice it in the details he never forgets. It's not always about remembering anniversaries or birthdays, although he never misses those either. It's about recalling the things that most people overlook, the little fragments of your world that matter only to you. He remembers how you take your coffee, the way your eyes light up when you hear a certain song, or that story you once told about a childhood dream. He stores these details carefully, not because he's trying to impress you, but because he listens with intent. What you share becomes part of him, woven into his memory as naturally as breathing. Sometimes he'll surprise you by repeating back words you barely remember saying, maybe about a book you wanted to read, a food you wanted to try, or a place you once mentioned wanting to visit. Weeks or months later, he brings it up, and you realize he never let it slip. These moments feel like quiet love letters, reminding you that your voice never gets lost in the noise of his life. Remembering small details also shows emotional presence. It proves that he's not just physically near you, but mentally and emotionally engaged. Every time he recalls something tiny yet meaningful, it reassures you. I notice you. I care enough to hold on to your world. This habit becomes his way of nurturing you. When he remembers what flavor of ice cream comforts you after a hard day, or the exact way you like your pillows stacked at night, he shows his love not through grand declarations, but through subtle acts that whisper louder than any speech. Because in the end, it's not the big dates that build trust, it's the small details. And when a man makes space in his memory for every little piece of you, he's telling you without words that you'll always be his priority. He chooses you over distractions. We live in a world overflowing with distractions. Phones buzz with notifications, work emails arrive at all hours, and endless entertainment waits just a click away. Yet when you are his true priority, he makes a conscious choice. He chooses you over all of it. This choice doesn't always come with a dramatic announcement. It shows in the quiet, consistent ways he shifts his focus to you. When you're together, his phone isn't the center of his attention. He sets it aside, silences the alerts, and looks at you instead of scrolling through someone else's life. His eyes meet yours, telling you that your presence is far more important than any distraction lighting up his screen. Even when a work call comes in, he weighs it against the moment with you and, when possible, lets it wait. That choice, subtle yet powerful, reassures you that you come first. He also chooses you over social noise. While others might lose hours in parties, games, or conversations that don't matter, he saves his best energy for the time he spends with you, not because he dislikes fun, but because he knows where his real joy lives. You are his peace in a chaotic world, even in small decisions, like watching a movie you love instead of one he prefers, or turning off the TV just to talk. He demonstrates that your connection outweighs fleeting pleasures. These moments aren't about sacrifice. They're about priority. He knows that distractions fade, but what he builds with you will last. Ultimately, love is not just about grand promises. It's about the quiet choices someone makes every day. And when he chooses you over distractions, he's telling you without words, "My world could be loud, but I'd rather keep my focus on you." He protects your peace of mind when a man truly sees you as his priority. He understands that love is not just about making you happy in the moment. It's about protecting your peace in the long run. He doesn't stir chaos in your life, doesn't play mind games, and doesn't leave you second-guessing where you stand. Instead, he becomes a steady presence, guarding your emotional balance like it's something sacred. Protecting your peace means he avoids unnecessary arguments. He knows when to step back, when to listen, and when to comfort instead of compete. He doesn't dismiss your feelings or make you feel dramatic for expressing them. Instead, he reassures you, letting you know that your emotions are safe with him. It also shows in the way he shields you from stress. If something heavy needs to be handled, whether it's bills, problems with the car, or difficult family situations, he steps forward instead of leaving you to carry the weight alone. Not because he wants control, but because he wants you to breathe easier, knowing you don't have to face everything by yourself. He also respects your mental space. If you've had a long day, he doesn't demand constant energy from you. He gives you room to rest, room to process, and room to be yourself. He recognizes that silence can sometimes be the most healing gift. Most importantly, he never plays with your trust. He doesn't lie, doesn't manipulate, and doesn't create unnecessary doubt. His honesty is part of the foundation that keeps your peace intact. With him, you don't feel the exhaustion of overthinking. You feel the calm of being secure. To protect someone's peace of mind is to love them beyond surface gestures. It is a quiet vow. I will never be the storm in your life. I will be the calm that helps you through it. And that vow, unspoken yet deeply felt, proves you are his true priority. He shares his future plans. With you, one of the clearest signs that you are someone's true priority is when he doesn't just live in the present with you, but invites you into his vision of the future. A man who sees you as essential to his life won't keep his long-term dreams locked away. Instead, he shares them with you, weaving your presence into every plan he imagines. He talks about the places he wants to travel. And instead of saying, "I want to go there someday," he says, "We should go there together." He speaks of career goals, financial steps, or personal milestones, and includes you in those conversations, not as an afterthought, but as a central part of his decisions. Whether it's about buying a home, starting a family, or simply planning for next summer, he uses words like "we" and "us" because his future feels incomplete without you in it. Sharing his plans is also about vulnerability. When he opens up about his fears, uncertainties, and hopes, it shows he trusts you enough to let you see his unpolished dreams. He doesn't just present the finished picture. He invites you into the process, asking for your thoughts and valuing your perspective. This quiet act communicates. Your opinion shapes the direction of my life, even in smaller ways, like telling you about an upcoming project at work, a goal at the gym, or a family event he wants you by his side for. He's making it clear. You belong in both his present and his future. A man who shares his future with you is saying something profound without needing dramatic words. He's telling you that he doesn't just want you for now, he wants you for always. And when he consistently includes you in his plans, it's proof that you are not just part of his life, you are the heart of his future. He values your opinions and ideas. When a man makes you his true priority, he doesn't just love you, he respects your mind. He understands that being with you isn't about having someone to agree with everything he says, but about growing together through shared perspectives. That's why he values your opinions and ideas, treating them as essential pieces of his decision-making process. You notice it in the way he asks for your input before making choices, whether big or small. If he's considering a career move, a financial step, or even something simple like choosing a new place to eat, he asks what you think. Not because he can't decide for himself, but because your voice matters to him. Including you in his thought process is his way of saying, "Your perspective adds meaning to my world." He listens when you speak, not to argue or dismiss, but to genuinely understand. Even if he ultimately chooses differently, he makes sure you know your words shaped his thinking. When you suggest ideas, he doesn't brush them aside. Instead, he explores them with you, sometimes even acting on them because he trusts your insight. Valuing your opinions also shows in the small, tender ways. Maybe he remembers your advice about a healthier habit, or he takes your suggestion about how to handle a situation with his family or friends. Each time he listens and applies your input, it reinforces that he sees you as his partner, not just someone on the sidelines. This quiet respect builds confidence in the relationship. It reassures you that you're not just loved for your presence, but cherished for your wisdom. Your voice isn't background noise to him. It's guidance he wants by his side. When a man values your opinions and ideas, he's making more than a choice. He's making a promise. A promise that says, "You are not just in my heart. You are in my mind, my decisions, and my future." He adjusts his schedule for you. Life can get hectic. Work demands, family responsibilities, and personal goals often fill a man's calendar to the brim. Yet when you are his true priority, you'll notice something subtle but powerful. He adjusts his schedule to make room for you. It doesn't mean he abandons his responsibilities. It means he rearranges them with care so you never feel like an afterthought. Maybe he leaves the office a little earlier to meet you for dinner. Or he reschedules a workout session because he knows you need to talk. Perhaps he plans his weekend around your availability, ensuring that your moments together aren't squeezed in but protected. These quiet adjustments reveal more than convenience. They reveal commitment. He's showing you that no matter how busy he becomes, you remain central in his plans. Even in small ways, his flexibility speaks volumes. If you need him on a stressful day, he'll shuffle things around to be there. If something important to you comes up, a family event, a work presentation, or even just a rough night, he finds a way to stand by your side. This willingness to adapt tells you, "You matter enough for me to change my world around you." Adjusting his schedule also means he respects your time. He doesn't cancel last minute or keep you waiting endlessly. Instead, he communicates clearly, letting you know when he'll arrive or how he's managing his commitments. This reliability brings peace, showing that you can count on him without question. In a world where people often hide behind the excuse of being too busy, his quiet choice to carve out time for you is rare. It proves that love isn't just about words. It's about priorities made visible in actions. And when he adjusts his schedule for you, he's declaring, "No matter how full my days are, there will always be space for you." He supports you in silence and in public. When a man truly makes you his priority, his support doesn't shift depending on who's watching. It shows in private moments no one else sees, and it shines just as strongly when the world is looking. His loyalty is consistent, both in silence and in public. In private, his support is quiet but steady. He's there when you're overwhelmed, listening to your fears without judgment, encouraging you when you doubt yourself, and offering comfort when the world feels too heavy. Sometimes it's as simple as holding your hand in silence, or reminding you with a gentle word that you're stronger than you think. These hidden gestures are his way of protecting your heart when no audience is present. But what makes his love undeniable is that his support doesn't fade in public spaces. He doesn't minimize your achievements to appear bigger. Instead, he amplifies your voice, celebrates your victories, and makes sure others see your worth. If someone disrespects you, he doesn't stay quiet. He stands by you, letting everyone know you deserve respect. If you share an opinion in a group, he listens, nods, and sometimes even backs you up. Proving your perspective carries weight with him. This balance between private reassurance and public loyalty creates a deep sense of security. You never feel abandoned behind closed doors, and you never feel invisible in the crowd. He treats you with the same care in both worlds, showing that his devotion isn't an act. It's who he is. 10. He surprises you in thoughtful ways. When a man sees you as his true priority, his love doesn't just appear in routines. It reveals itself in the thoughtful surprises he plans for you. These aren't necessarily grand or expensive gestures. Instead, they're quiet, intentional moments that show he pays attention to who you are and what makes you feel cherished. Maybe he remembers you once mentioned craving a certain dessert and brings it home after a long day. Perhaps he slips a handwritten note into your bag, something simple like, "I believe in you," before an important meeting. Sometimes it's as small as sending you a song that reminded him of you, or rearranging plans so he can take you to that little cafe you once said you loved. These surprises don't need to impress the world. They're designed for your heart alone. The thoughtfulness behind his actions proves he's not just going through motions, he's paying close attention. He notices what makes you smile, what calms you, and what excites you. Then, he takes that knowledge and turns it into small, meaningful acts that say, "I see you. I remember. You matter." Surprises also keep love alive by showing effort. Anyone can get comfortable and forget the spark, but he chooses to invest in keeping your connection fresh. It's not about obligation, but about joy. He wants to see your eyes light up when you realize he's been thinking of you even when you weren't around. These thoughtful surprises also carry a deeper message: consistency. They show that his love isn't reserved for special occasions. Instead, he makes everyday life feel like a celebration of you. And in those quiet, unexpected gestures, you feel secure, because you know he doesn't just say you're his priority. He proves it in ways that only you would notice. He respects your boundaries and needs. When a man truly makes you his priority, he understands that love is not about control, it's about respect. One of the clearest ways he shows this is by honoring your boundaries and meeting your needs without making you feel guilty for having them. Respecting boundaries means he doesn't push when you say no. If you're tired, if you need space, or if you simply don't feel comfortable with something, he doesn't argue or shame you. Instead, he listens and accepts, because he values your comfort over his own convenience. This quiet respect builds trust, reminding you that your voice carries weight in the relationship. He also takes the time to learn your needs, both spoken and unspoken. Maybe you need extra rest after a stressful week, or you need reassurance when doubts creep in. Perhaps you need moments of silence to recharge, or the freedom to pursue passions outside of the relationship. Whatever those needs are, he doesn't see them as demands. He sees them as parts of who you are, and he responds with patience and understanding. Respect also shows in how he interacts with your world. If you draw boundaries with family, friends, or even social media, he supports you instead of crossing the line. He doesn't invade your privacy or dismiss your choices. Instead, he aligns with you, showing that your well-being matters more than his ego. This kind of respect is rare because it requires maturity. It means he loves you enough not to mold you into what's easiest for him, but to embrace you as you are. By respecting your boundaries and needs, he proves that he isn't just in love with the idea of you, he's in love with the real you. In the quietness of this respect lies his strongest declaration: I see you, I honor you, and I will never make you feel unsafe in loving me. 12. He shows up when it truly matters. Life is filled with ordinary days, but it's in the defining moments, the ones that carry weight, fear, or hope, where a man's priorities become unmistakably clear. If you are his true priority, he shows up when it truly matters, not with excuses, not with silence, but with presence. He may not always have the right words, but he has the right heart. When you're sick, he's the one bringing you soup, making sure you rest, or simply sitting beside you so you don't feel alone. When you face a challenge, an important exam, a difficult family situation, or a dream you're chasing, he stands in your corner, cheering you on, sometimes louder than you cheer for yourself. His presence whispers, I won't let you go through this alone. Showing up also means being reliable when life tests your strength. If you call, he answers. If you need him, he finds a way. Even if it means rearranging his priorities, driving across town, or sacrificing his own comfort, he shows that your needs matter deeply to him. These aren't just gestures. They are commitments, quietly proving that you will never have to wonder if he'll be there. And it's not only in the hard times. He shows up to celebrate your victories too, the moments when you shine. He's there in the front row, proud, smiling, letting everyone know that he believes in you. He doesn't fade into the background when things get tough, and he doesn't vanish when things go well. His consistency tells you that you are cherished in every season. In the end, love isn't measured by how often someone says, I love you, but by how they stand by you when it matters most. And when he shows up again and again, you realize you're not just important to him, you're his true priority.